South Africa is proud of its very deep and fraternal relations with Uganda, relations that date back to the struggle against colonialism and apartheid. At great risk and sacrifice, Uganda stood firm in its support for the goals of our liberation struggle and contributed materially and in many other ways to help us achieve our freedom and our democracy. On behalf of the people of South Africa, allow me to express our appreciation to the people of Uganda for their contribution to our freedom. Relations between our two countries are based on the principles of mutual respect, the promotion of Pan-Africanism, and a commitment to human rights and also to the emancipation of women. I sincerely hope that the Ugandan delegates are showcasing opportunities for investment and procurement in Uganda's burgeoning gas and oil sector. South Africa would most certainly be interested in being part of this economic development in Uganda. It does not make economic sense nor political sense for African countries to trade with and procure from countries abroad when the services, the finances, the commodities and the products that they seek are available right here on the continent. The AfCFTA presents huge economic opportunities to grow intra-African trade and to deepen bilateral cooperation and continental integration as well. Increased intra-Africa trade will propel the growth of our economies and contribute towards continental stability and prosperity. South Africa sees Uganda as an important player in East Africa. As a continent, we need to continue to work towards peaceful resolutions of conflicts that occur on our continent. And South Africa strongly believes in African solutions for African problems.
On behalf of the Ugandans, I'm very happy to be here. I recruited myself into the ANC in Dar es Salaam. I just walked to Swai Priso's office and I became a member of ANC. You can see now, 55 years later, at that time, really, nobody could believe that we would be here in Pretoria because the situation in the world was very complicated. So I congratulate the people of South Africa for the big struggle they waged, especially the young people in 1976. That uprising really gave us hope. Even we who were outside, we could see that things were going to change. Now, when we had capacity to do some small contribution, 1989, when the ANC had some issues in Angola, we did not hesitate. Mr. de Klerk wrote to me, said, first of all, the British, they came and said, no, you should be friends with de Klerk. And actually they sent me a man called Malan. Malan was Minister of Defense or something like that. Yes. He came to Uganda, and the British were trying to say that we should have a relationship with the white government here. I said, no problem. I have actually I think I wrote to de Klerk and told him that we have no problem. We can be friends, we can talk with the whites, but you don't abandon your own brothers for the sake of friendship. Friendship must not be what takes me from my brother. So we are very happy that we are here where we are now. Now, when South Africa was approaching freedom, as I was telling His Excellency, I had long talks with Mzee Mandela when he came from jail. He first went to Zambia, then he came to Uganda. Then we had long talk. There were now new possibilities. Apart from struggling together, there was now the possibility of working on prosperity together. From the phase of struggling to the phase of working for joint prosperity. And those opportunities are still there. So therefore, the Joint Commission should study what can Uganda do best and sell to South Africa, and what can South Africa do best and sell to Uganda. Because really a durable relationship must be based on business, not just sentiments. There are some things which Uganda can do best and sell to South Africa and vice versa. For instance, I know there is the issue of coal. We have very high grade iron ore in Uganda, but iron ore, one needs coal to turn iron ore into steel. And our part of the world, as you can see, is very far from the ocean, 1,000 miles. Now, bringing steel products from China, from India, from Ukraine in the past, very expensive. The freight alone, the transport, is bigger than even the cost of the product itself. So it is very important that we develop an inland steel industry for Uganda and for those areas around. But here we need coal from South Africa. Some people are talking of hydrogen. They say we can use hydrogen, but they are still saying it is a bit expensive. That it is easier to use coal through Mombasa. So these items should be listed. South Africa, this and that and that. Don't just come to you, like we do in the African Union, Madame, Excellence, just like a theater. That's why I don't attend those African Union meetings anymore. I don't have time for. So come with concrete. What can Uganda produce that South Africa needs? What can South Africa produce? For me, I have told you about coal. And we are developing electric cars. We have already moved very far. Electric cars, our scientists have built them. But in order for the electric vehicles, buses, to be economic, it is also good that we make the batteries locally in Uganda. And of course, we are looking at lithium and other minerals in Uganda. They may be there, but in case they are not, South Africa has got a lot of those minerals. So you can check that, so that you go industry, even if there are 5 or 6, which you identify. You say South Africa can do this, Uganda can do this, and Uganda can be assisted to do this. And now, of course, Uganda has got, with agriculture, things are much easier because here away from the equator, I hear people have got only one rainy season. That's what I hear. But there, near the equator, we have 2 rainy seasons. That's why these Ugandans are lazy, you see, because life is very easy for them. You don't have to work very hard, you know. Even a fool can survive in Uganda. So those agro-based that South Africa may need, cheap. They are plenty. They are plenty. Because I don't know, where do you get your bananas from? Do you grow bananas here?
Yes, we do. In the north and in the east.
Big panties or?
Yeah, towards the north, yes, but not as big as yours.
Not
as big as yours.
So really, that's what this Ministry of Trade, the other young lady, there's my brother here. This is we are together. He's as old as me. This one is quite ancient. This one here, but the other young girl, she's the. You should help the old man to list. Don't just come, Excellence, Madame, Mademoiselle. So really this is, but then there's also, there's now the bilateral, but there is the producing for third-party markets. The companies can come from South Africa, based in Uganda, or even vice versa, but produce for the US market, because we have got access to that market, USA market, European Union market, Chinese market, using the raw materials of Uganda, which are plenty. That will be, in my view, another area we should look at in detail, not just vaguely. Then finally, as His Excellency was saying, the issue of pacifying Africa, because we are talking of the CFTA, Continental Free Trade Area. But this Continental Free Trade Area will be a trade area only if it is peaceful. But now the whole place is in chaos. What we told, the good thing is that what these young people like the other one is calling history, I call current affairs. Because I was there all this time when all these things were happening. Now, when we started with our elders, Mzee Mandela was in jail, Mzee Oliver Tambo was in London, but we were active with Mwalimu Nyerere, because Mwalimu Nyerere was in charge of Tanganyika by that time. And these people thought it was a joke. There were 2 lines. The imperialists and those who listened to them, and we who were led by Mwalimu Nyerere and Nkrumah and other people, who wanted freedom, freedom meaning freedom. Now, the other group did not listen to us. Not only that, but they killed many of our people. They killed Lumumba. In Congo, they thought they were very smart. Killed Lumumba. Why did you kill Lumumba? Because Lumumba was independent-minded. In Burundi, they killed Rwagasore. They killed Ngendanumwe. They killed in Rwanda, they killed the king there, Rudahigwa. Then in West Africa, they were killing all these people, Felix Mumi and all that. They overthrew Nkrumah. They thought they were very clever. They overthrew Modibo Keita in Mali. So their strategy was puppets. Put puppets everywhere. Even in Tanganyika, they tried to overthrow Mwalimu at one time. They tried, but they didn't succeed. In Obote, in Uganda, they even overthrew Obote, whom they mistook for a leftist. Obote was not a leftist, but they got rid of Obote and put Idi Amin. So now, what is happening is that whatever somebody sows, that's what he harvests. So all these traitors have now collapsed in Mali, in Burkina Faso, in Central African Republic. It's chaos everywhere.
Looks forward to continuing the good cooperation that we have, such as South Africa and Uganda, should continue working together for peace, the primacy of multilateralism, for the reform of the United Nations system,